All right. Hello,
Okay.
hello. I guess we're live. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We're gonna give it a few minutes to kind of wait for the stragglers to come in. So, anyone who's in, let us know where you're tuning in from. We're curious to see where you're tuning in from. Me myself, I'm currently tuning in from Colombia. Camila, how about yourself?
Well, I'm tuning in from Argentina, so we have people from all over the place.
Yeah, I actually just got back from a vacation in Argentina. I went camping in Patagonia. Crazy place. I mean, I'm Canadian. I was born in the Rocky Mountains, spent most of my life in the Rocky Mountains, but the Andes Mountains in South America, I gotta say, pretty cool.
We have really cool places to go. Never been there because I was mentioning to you before, a city girl, but everything looks pretty.
Oh yeah, it's super pretty. We got someone from Sayre, Oklahoma. I hope that's how I say it. Sayre, from Louisville, KY. I think that's Kentucky. I'm too Canadian for some of these. I think that's Kentucky. Oklahoma, Kentucky. Anyone
I
from
think
Texas
so.
in? Last time we had a few people from Texas in for last month's webinar. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Oklahoma. I was in Oklahoma when in November I was there. Didn't get to catch a Chiefs game, but I hear the Chiefs are doing good. Camille, I don't think you know much about American football.
Oh, the only thing I know is that he's Taylor Swift's boyfriend. So one of them, one of
Yes.
the players. That's all I know.
Travis Kelsey, I think.
Travis, he was in Argentina as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Taylor Swift concert. That's
Mm,
why I know him.
I see. I see. Someone from Valley View, Texas. Okay, right on. I got some Texas people in.
How's the weather? It was freezing, right, the other day.
Where in Texas?
I don't know if it was Texas, but they were playing and it was freezing, under freezing temperatures, and
Oh,
it was
maybe.
everywhere.
I think most of the continental United States is having like a what is it, polar vortex
Hmm.
right
Hope it gets better. I'm going to
now.
New York in less than a month, so
Yeah.
maybe it's not freezing.
Well, I mean, you'll in February
Mm,
might be Oklahoma, Kentucky, Texas, Tennessee. Right on. Okay, some nice states. I'd like to visit all of those. I mean, Texas. I'd love to visit Texas, not just for the barbecue, but
oh, the barbecue.
yeah,
Th- That's a good reason, though.
it's always a good reason. Tennessee. I think last time we had someone from Maine. I've yet to see anyone from California.
Mm.
That'd be interesting. All right, I'll give it a few more minutes. Let these stragglers come in, and then we'll start with the social media, which in this day and age, it's more important than ever. And I mean, it's kind of when you're running and operating a campground, social media is probably the last thing you're thinking of. But I mean, in terms of kind of maximizing the amount of guests you're bringing in, especially for the younger generation, I did the
Mhm.
math before we went live. People born in 2006 are now 18 years old.
Yes.
That's
That made
absurd.
me feel old, to be
That's
honest.
absurd to me. I feel I'm 27, and that makes me feel like an old man.
I'm 24, and that made me feel old. So,
But yeah, if you really think about it, if people born in 2006 are old enough to drive, they've been with social media their entire lives. So it's always good to kind of play the cards you're dealt, and the cards you have right now is social media. That's the way forward. All right, I'll give one more minute. Behind the screen, we have our Our head of growth is controlling everything behind the scenes, so you can give an invisible hello to him as well. His name is Gabriel. He's helping us out with the presentation.
We can all imagine the sign that says applause. No?
Yeah. Gozalandia Waterfalls Campground check-in from Puerto Rico and Florida. Waterfalls in the name. I bet you guys have a really cool waterfall. I love waterfalls. That's one of my favorite things of all time in nature. Some nice waterfalls.
We have some beautiful ones in Argentina and Brazil as well.
Oh yeah, I bet. Where is it? What is that? Have you seen the movie Up? You know the waterfall from the movie Up?
Yes.
That's based on some South American waterfall, but I forget which one. You know what I'm talking about?
So we have a Cataratas del Iguazu here, but I'm not sure if those are the ones.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up because that's interesting.
Yeah, the movie Up. There's like a, I don't know. I digress. All right, we've given it some in Venezuela. Oh, thank you, Veronica. In Venezuela. There we go.
Venezuela is beautiful. Such beautiful places.
El Salto Angel. Everyone say hi to Veronica. She's also a member of Team Rover Pass. I'm sure some of you even know her. She's on the CS side. But we've given it enough time. Gabriel, if you may, you can start it up. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Social Media Marketing for Campground and RV Park Owners webinar. That was a mouthful. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Meet your speakers. Myself, my name is Patrick Kajerski. I am the marketing manager for Rover Pass. And Camila, you want to introduce yourself?
And then I'm Camila. I'm customer success specialist for Rover Pass.
So some of you have also probably dealt with Camila in one way or another, which is good. Put a face to the name. So yeah, we're going to start it off with some general social media marketing statistics. So right off the bat, there are approximately probably more now, probably like 4 billion active social media users worldwide. 90% of social media users try to reach out to brands or retailers. So this is super important. People who are on social media, and if they find your property on social media, chances are pretty good that's how they're going to try to reach out to you. In the United States, 70% of people own at least one social media profile. And I mean, if you count out the elderly and I don't know, kids below the age of 10, that probably 100% of people have at least one social media profile in the United States. 135 minutes, so a bit over 2 hours is spent on social media every day by global internet users. Wow, I think mine is maybe, hopefully a bit less than that. That seems like a lot of time. YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok are the most popular social media platforms among teens and young adults now. This is very important to take note of. We'll be kind of expanding on that in a little bit. But Gabriel, you can go ahead. So we're going to start off with Facebook, your bread and butter. I mean, there's a lot of new social media platforms out these days. TikTok, I mean, Instagram isn't too new, but Facebook at the end of the day is your bread and butter as a campground or RV park owner. So why? They have a broad user base, probably the broadest across all of them, and especially amongst people age 30 to, I don't know, 60, 70. Those are usually the people with RVs or people who like glamping, stuff like that. As well, Facebook has a visual content appeal. Like you can post photos, videos, etc., not just of your property, of your amenities, of photos other people have taken on your Facebook profile. That does a really good job in kind of selling your property without you having to do much. Community building. So Facebook is probably the best social media in terms of community building, right? Not only can you make groups, you can make pages, and also on your own business page, you can share updates. People can comment. Other people can respond to those comments. You can respond to other people's comments. It's the best in terms of building out a solid community. Customer feedback and reviews. So again, in terms of social media, Facebook is the one where other people can come in and leave reviews that other social media users can come and see, read, and kind of come to their own conclusion without you having to do much. And if you have a lot of good reviews, that helps you out tremendously. And event promotion. So you can promote events on Facebook, right? For example, I know one property I was working with was promoting a New Year's Eve party on their Facebook. Did really well because they had a really strong community. And they had a strong community because they had a lot of great visual content. So it all kind of feeds back into itself. But yeah, Facebook, your bread and butter. If you're on Facebook, keep using it. If you're not on Facebook, get on Facebook. Absolutely. Yeah, well, you can go ahead. The power of TikTok in campground marketing. So TikTok is, I don't know, the new kid on the block. That it is what the kids and the teens and the young adults are using. So we call them Gen Z. I guess probably millennials are using it as well. But anyone below the age of, I'm going to say 25, chances are pretty good they're not on Facebook. So this is kind of where we draw the line of distinction between people who are on Facebook, people who are on Facebook. So the ones that aren't on Facebook, they're going to be on TikTok or Instagram, but we're going to start with TikTok. So why is TikTok so important? One of the main reasons is the opportunity for virality. So if you post a video, and it's kind of funny how the algorithm works, but it really only takes like 1 or 2 shares from the right people to kind of snowball it into a massively viral video. And we'll show a couple examples of that in a bit. And again, most of the time, people under the age of 25 are only on TikTok, but that doesn't mean people over the age of 25 aren't on TikTok. So TikTok is definitely something that we recommend utilizing to some degree or another. Content strategy. TikTok, you do not need a fancy camera. You do not need a fancy video camera. All you need is a cell phone. And to take these short, engaging videos, showing your property, showing amenities, I don't know, showing a sunset, showing people having fun, stuff like that. You post it, goes viral. It doesn't even have to go viral, but it's part of building a digital presence. TikTok is also becoming a search hub. People are searching for things on TikTok. For example, what did we say? So we have Gozalandia Waterfalls Campground. So let's say I am a 19-year-old Gen Zer. I go on TikTok. I type in Waterfall Campground Puerto Rico or Waterfall Campground Florida. If you posted videos of your campground with those exact keywords, they will find your video. And they see the video, they like it, they probably will book with you. And yeah, it's more than a social app. It's kind of being used like a search engine, which I just covered. The younger crowd, they aren't really using Google as much. They're using TikTok. So content delivery and user trust. Again, in terms of TikTok, you don't have to worry about having a bunch of followers. You don't have to worry about having thousands of followers to be successful. You just need to have some videos up there with the right keywords and a digital presence. And to build onto that, the fact that you don't need fancy equipment is actually a hindrance because it almost seems artificial and inorganic. People on TikTok love organic videos. That's kind of the trend. That's been the trend for years. Organic videos with your phone. Something that you would take and send to, I don't know, a friend is something that can go on TikTok. You just put some music over it and you're good to go. And finally, TikTok has an amazing feature called the Creative Center. So if you go on Google and you type in TikTok Creative Center, it is an entire platform that shows you the trending sounds, trending songs, trending hashtags to use for your TikTok videos. So you don't even have to come up with this stuff by yourself. You just go into TikTok Creative Center, you see what other campgrounds, RV parks are using, copy it, and that can kind of be your strategy. So we have a couple examples of some TikTok videos that went viral. The first one is a $20 a night RV resort in the Florida Keys. Sorry, we don't have, I don't think the sound is going to play here. No, but you can see this is a video someone took with their phone. They're showing off the property. They're showing off the amenities. They show off the price. I don't know what that is, iguana? I don't know what they have in Florida. Some fish. Showing off the water, this membership. So there you go. It is not that difficult to take a video. This video went viral. And here's an example of another one. And hopefully you can read that text, but it's basically saying we showed up in a smaller RV and look at this person's bigger RV. That went viral. And it's as easy as that. You don't have to like strain your brain trying to think of some crazy video to do. You can just keep it organic, keep it to what you would naturally post. And even if it doesn't go viral, I'll touch on this in a little bit, but in terms of digital presence, it's always good to have at least a couple videos of your property on TikTok. Statistics on TikTok's user demographics and engagement rates. So 64% of Gen Z and 49% of millennials now turn to TikTok for searches. TikTok is more than a social app. As I mentioned before, it is a search engine of sorts nowadays. And 40% of Gen Z appreciate content tailored to their interest. So if they're interested in camping, if they're interested in the outdoors, if they're looking for a campground with a waterfall, this is stuff that we say it's tailored to their interest, because when someone's interested in something, they will usually type in every variation of that keyword when they're looking stuff up, either for their next trip or whatever. So yeah, Gen Z really appreciates that more than anyone else. Millennials too. So that's TikTok. We're going to move on to Instagram. Instagram is the place for visual storytelling, a little bit more than TikTok, because TikTok is mainly videos, whereas Instagram, as you can see on that photo, it's almost like a mosaic of visual storytelling. So Instagram's awesome for that. So in terms of engaging visuals, this is a stat that we use in marketing, and this applies for everything, but especially for social media, especially, I mean, we've been talking a lot of Gen Z and millennials, but it's probably everyone these days who spends a lot of time on their phone. You really only have 3-ish seconds to capture someone's attention before they scroll away. In those 3 seconds, you have to basically, you're using visual storytelling to kind of lock the person's attention. So a nice photo, and again, it doesn't have to be a professional photo. It just like you can see there a photo of a sunset from your property, a photo of the sky, a photo of the amenities, photo of people having fun. That is going to capture someone's attention. IG stories. So Instagram has a story feature where you post something and it is live for 24 hours. So let's say you're hosting an event, or let's say, I don't know, you have a really cool sunset that night, etc. It does not take much effort to kind of post stories on your Instagram. And again, this is for the most part the younger crowd, which there's getting more and more of them each day. They really turn to stories, and stories are kind of what's shown in the algorithm in the Instagram, like for you. There's a lot of, that's where stories are shown. So it doesn't have to be you. I mean, whoever's, it kind of depends on the property, but if you have staff, if you have younger staff, I would give it to them for sure. Or if it's just you or you and your partner, probably the one who prefers taking photos and videos, I would say give it to them. And of course, the nice thing about Instagram is you can promote your campground link. So your Overpass, the link to your Overpass marketplace page right in your bio. So that's the first thing they're going to see. So they're going to see the mosaic. It's really nice. You have a bunch of photos that are really nice. They look at your stories. They're really nice. They're interested. Bang, your bio, or in your bio is the link to your marketplace page, and it's seamless that way. So we got a video here, something someone posted on their Instagram. And again, they're literally just showing different methods of making coffee. But the keyword, can you play that again one more time, please? So you see the keyword 5 ways to make coffee in an RV. That's the keyword. So if that's your keyword, that's what's going to come up when people are searching for RV or RV campground or etc. And this, I mean, if I were to redo that video, I would do the coffee and then I would kind of scroll up and then show the property, show a sunset, whatever. That's kind of how you capture people's attention in terms of Instagram. Going back to Facebook for a second, some of you may not know this, Rover Pass has a Facebook community. And it is for RV and campground owners. Our team is in there often, kind of giving tips, kind of like this webinar, but in very condensed form. But it's not just us. We have over 300 members now. They're all RV park and campground owners. They are always discussing tips, insights. They have questions, they have answers. There's cross-promotion opportunities. Like if you're in the same state, you can kind of link up, do some stuff. And of course, community engagement. If you're not already in the Rover Pass community on Facebook, we highly recommend joining. You lose nothing by joining, and you have a lot to gain from the insights, the tips, from everything that our team has to share. And I think Gabriel is going to show you the Facebook page right now. Oh, maybe not. That's fine. At the end of this webinar, after the webinar, for everyone who joined, I'm going to send you an email with this slide deck, this entire presentation. I'm going to send it to you. I'm also going to send you a link to the Facebook group, and I'm going to send you a campground marketing ebook as well. Just some stuff for you guys. But if you're interested in joining the Facebook group, again, you lose nothing by joining and you stand to gain a lot. So I'll be sending you all the link to that after this webinar. So cross-platform content strategy. So I've been talking about Facebook. I've been talking about Instagram. I've been talking about TikTok. But what I have not been talking about is that you can, whatever content you create, let's say you take a video, let's say you take a photo, just because you post it on one of your social medias does not mean you cannot post it on the rest, especially when it comes to videos. Videos are great for TikTok. They're great for Instagram. They're good for Facebook. And something that we see, I don't know if I'd call it mistake, but it's a little bit of an oversight that someone will take a great video and they'll post it on TikTok, but they don't post it on their Facebook or their Instagram or anywhere else that they're on, their YouTube, even if you're on YouTube. So in terms of cross-platform content strategy, that's what we recommend. Any piece of content that you create or film or take a photo of, it can be repurposed across all channels. And that is something that we absolutely recommend doing. Consistency in branding. So there's a brand voice and a visual style. We consider this a winning strategy. It's not something that you have to do, but having kind of a consistent voice or a consistent brand and how you present things is always good, especially cross-platform. It really does a lot to kind of cement your property as a good one to visit. And engagement across platforms. So again, this is something, I'm not going to call it a mistake, but it is an oversight. Not often, but I see, especially as a marketer, I see with some of these owners that I work with, they have all of these social media channels that they're utilizing, and they're getting engagement, right? People are commenting, people are asking questions, but they never respond, or they're late to respond, or sometimes they just don't respond for a week. We absolutely recommend at least, once a day when you wake up in the morning or before bed, or some of you who are on your phone all the time, try to keep your audience engaged. That is how you build trust. That is how you build a relationship before they even come onto your property. And if they feel that there is already a relationship between you, between the, not the brand, but the property, that really goes a long way in not just bringing new customers, but creating recurring customers. So always be engaging. ABE. Okay, that is it for me. I'm going to hand it off to Camila now to kind of talk about not social media, but the Rover Pass side of things. So Camila, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. So now that we have learned a lot about how to take advantage of social medias, I would like to show you some ways in which you can take advantage of RoverPass. Um, and to begin with, I would like to focus on the aesthetic side of things. Um, and when I try to think of the aesthetic side, I think about this like when I'm going to a hotel. RV campgrounds are the same basically. So the first thing that we focus on are the pictures, or at least in my case. So having good pictures, as Patrick mentioned before, it's not only important on social media, but it's important on Robert Pass as well. As he mentioned, it doesn't have to be anything professional. It doesn't have to be taken with a professional camera, or you don't have to have lots of money to do it. But having nice pictures of your campground, your amenities, the sunset, people being on the campground, that's wanna make that's what's gonna make people stop and look at your listing instead of others. So that's your first impression. He mentioned before that you have something like 3 seconds to capture people's focus. So having a really, really nice picture that showcase how beautiful your campground is gonna make them stop scrolling. And that's what we want. So people stop scrolling, they click on your campground, and then they have access to multiple other pictures as well. And here's where we want to showcase the rest of the things that we have to offer. Let's show them. Let's show them the amenities that we have. If we had events going on, we can show them how they can have fun at our campground. And another way that you can take advantage of pictures, it's with site-specific pictures. So on Robert Pass, you can select a different picture for each site. For example, I used to had a campground that they have a lot of cabins and each one looked pretty different. So they will add an individual picture of each of the cabins. And as a camper that I'm going to stay at the hotel at a campground, I always love to see what the place I'm gonna stay at looks. So I think it's a really nice way to engage people, showing them how the site is gonna look, how the cabin is gonna look, even just the land that they're gonna stay at. So that's another thing you can take advantage of. And following the aesthetic side, another thing you can take advantage of is color customization. So everyone, or at least everyone, has a color that they have associated with the campground. So if you have it on your website, if you have it on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, you can have it on Robert Pass as well. So you can customize the colors that you have on your Robert Pass listing. Um, and paying attention to these kind of details, having the pictures, site-specific pictures, and the colors. Um, are gonna enhance the aesthetic side, and it's also gonna create this identity across platforms for your campground. And I think that's something that you can really take advantage of. Awesome. So you can go to the next slide. Good. So another thing that you can take advantage of while being on Robert Pass, it's on the information side. You have multiple places where you can showcase information to campers. So the most important part is that you have your main description. what we want to do is let people know why they need to stay with us. So, what are we going to add on our description? We're going to focus on all the things we want to highlight about our campground. Do we have anything close to us? What we can offer on a campground? You can go biking, you can go hiking. We have this event going on. You can do this activity here. You can use Rover Pass sections to promote local events. Oh, I had a lot of campgrounds that had like musical festivals going on. So that's something that they were really focused on, because someone who is trying to go to this festival can stay at your campground. So you can try to bring their attention on that side. And that's something that we can do using our descriptions and informations. Of course, we want to use this section as well to let them know about anything important, like rules or anything they need to know before going to our campground. But what we want to do uh, on this marketing side is just letting them know in a short, catchy way, something that is going to make them stop and pay attention to what we're saying. And at the same time, it's going to convince them to stay with us because of what we are saying. Um, as you can see here, we can add descriptions of the nature around us. We can add activities. We can add promotions as well if we have anything going on. If we have weekly promotions, if we have promotions, if they stay for a month, that's something that we can let them know on our information side as well. But if you go to the next slide, please. Here is something that I want to highlight. That's why it has its own slide. We need to be careful with the information that we share, because let's be honest, if we see a lot of information, if it's like a long thing with lots of information that maybe it's not of our interest right now, we're just going to stop reading and go to the next thing. So when we are sharing information, we need to try to be short and concise with the information that we're sharing. That way we make sure that everyone finishes reading what we are saying. Otherwise, people are just going to scroll away. So that's something that I wanted to focus on. Let's be sure, let's be catchy, just clear and concise with that information. Good. So this was mentioned on social media as well, but it has an important side on Robert Pass as well. So reviews, having people share their experience at a campground, what they did, such a fun time that they had, anything they want to share, honestly, is going to help us when people is deciding if they are staying or booking with us or not. Um, I used this reference before, but wanted to mention it again. Personally, when I'm searching for a place to stay, I like to see what other people has to say about this place. And if I find a place that doesn't have any reviews, or going back to what I said before, if the site doesn't have any pictures, if it doesn't have any information, if it doesn't have any reviews, I'm just gonna assume the place doesn't have a lot of people going there, that they don't have anything to show me that might be of my interest, that they don't have a lot of things to offer. So reviews are such an important part as well, good and bad. If you have bad reviews, it's important to answer as well, so we can show that we are interested in what they are saying. Could have been a confusion. Uh, Whatever we want to offer as an answer is good. And if we have good reviews, it's important to have an answer as well, to kind of engage with people and show people who is deciding if they're staying with us or not, that we are active there, that we are putting time and effort into our campground, that we have lots to offer, that they will have the attention that they are looking for. So reviews also a really important thing to have on Robert Pass as well. You can go to the next slide. Okay, and going back a little bit to being listed on multiple platforms, on Robert Pass we offer these as well. So maybe some of you are familiar with this, maybe other not. But at Rover Pass, you have channel management, which allows you to be listed across multiple platforms, really important ones such as Airbnb, Booking.com, HipCamp, Spot Tonight. And this is really important as well on the marketing aspect. If you are listed across multiple platforms, not only social media, but these booking platforms as well, you increase the chances that someone will find you and that they will book with you. Because if you're only at Rover Pass, that's the only place that they can find you. But maybe they first find you on Airbnb and then they try to find you on all of the other platforms. And even if they don't try to find you in all of the other platforms, they did find you. And that's the important thing. So we need to try to be listed on as many places as we can. And channel management offers this, and at the same time helps you keep your bookings in order so you don't have double bookings or anything. Everything is connected and you increase your chances of getting more bookings. That's what we want at the end of the day. More bookings and engage with more people. So this is a great option. So you can move to the next slide. Awesome. And another thing that I wanted to mention that it's also another platform to be listed at. We have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We talk about Rover Pass. We talked about Airbnb, HipCamp, but websites are another platform as well. So it's really important that we all have a website. I know that all of you have a website, but what I wanted to focus here is that all of the things that we learn here about having pictures, about having engagement with customers, about having things updated and sharing the right information has to be translated to the website as well. So we want to have nice pictures. We want to have our amenities highlighted. If you want to showcase reviews, go ahead on your website. It's a good place to have reviews as well. You can just use the better ones to have to showcase on your website. Um, Another thing that we are have that is a new thing on Rubber Pass is premium websites. We are really aware of this logic that you need to have like across all platforms and the pictures and the keywords. So we decided to go with the premium websites. I wanted to show you it's not really big, but you have some pictures of our premium websites there, and you can see that everything we mentioned is there. We have information, we have amenities, we have reviews, we have beautiful pictures. So even if it's our premium website or is your website, what I want to uh, try to tell you here is it's important that we take care of our website as well. It's another great way of getting more bookies and increasing your traffic and engage with people. Okay, and that will be everything on my side as well. If you are interested in knowing more about anything that we talk, feel more than free to let us know.
Yeah, thank you very much, Camilla. We will open the floor now to some Q&A. So if you have any questions about anything that we've discussed so far, if you have a question about something that you wanted us to cover, maybe we didn't, now is your chance to talk to me and Camilla. Is it possible to have pictures and reviews feed automatically to the other platforms? Could you expand on that if you don't mind? I'm not sure if you are referring to your Rover Pass listing or if you're referring to social media in general. We're getting lots of reviews on Google. So in terms of, we want those reviews to feed to our website, Roverpass, etc. Yes, but it is a little technologically intensive. Usually these things are called, there's this thing called Zapier, which is basically like an app that you can use that will automatically feed stuff to your website. Same with posted pictures. Yeah. There is a way to do it automatically. It is a bit tech intensive. I will say that. So if tech isn't really your strong suit, I would say for the most part, you will have to do it manually unless you can either find or figure it out in terms of having these kind of widgets that you can have stuff feed automatically. My suggestion is, even though it would be automatic, you might have reviews that you don't necessarily want people to see on your website, on your Roverpass listing, on your social media. So doing it manually is a good way to filter it, kind of filter for like your highlight reviews. And with posted pictures, again, yes, there is a way to do it. There are apps out there that you can find where if you link all your social medias, kind of like a content calendar where you'll schedule it and it'll schedule across all of your social medias. So there is a way to do it. It is a little tech intensive. I'm not sure your level of expertise regarding this stuff. My suggestion would be, if you're not doing it, to do it manually. And if it is getting too difficult, then you would have to kind of look into a way of automating it. But it is possible. Maybe the webinar was that good. Hey, Camila? What is the name of the app you mentioned? So the name of the app I mentioned is things. Maybe you can you present that? Can you link it out? Zapier. That's kind of widgets, or you can type in, let me see what I can find. Widgets for social media. Yeah, there's also, if you Google the word widget, WIDGET, and you'll type in widget for social media, that'll usually bring up most of the things that you would need. So Zapier, or you can Google widget, WIDGET. No worries. And we'll do a few more minutes here. Again, this is again, I've been working in marketing for a lot of years. So if there's maybe something, there's any kind of question, doesn't even have to be social media, but if you have any question regarding marketing, not just for social media, but for your Roverpass listing, I mean, now is a pretty good chance to ask. So is it okay to post the same video on the same platform multiple times? Yes, but I wouldn't do it, within a day, within a week of itself. If you're pretty active on social media and you have a really good video, I would say a good kind of gap is a month, 2 months, and then you can repost it. I've definitely seen it done all the time. I mean, at the end of the day, people's attention spans, people's memories are getting shorter and shorter. If you have a killer video, you are absolutely free to do that. I don't think anyone is going to think any less of it unless you are just repeatedly posting it week after week. But absolutely, another thing that I didn't mention is you feel free to reutilize content. Just because you post it once doesn't mean you have to never post it again. Feel free to reutilize. How often do you recommend posting on Facebook, IG? Mine are links, so when I post to one, it goes to both. So the very best rule of thumb I can give you as a marketer is try to aim for 3 times a week. So 3 times a week is excellent. If you can do 5 times a week, great, but I wouldn't expect an owner to do it unless they want to. But 3 times a week is usually the sweet spot. That in terms of the algorithm, that keeps you at the top of the algorithm, because social media is kind of run on these algorithms. And as long as you're being active, there is way higher chance that whatever you're posting is going to reach people who aren't otherwise following you. So good rule of thumb, 3 times a week. You can do it whenever. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, it doesn't matter, but try to aim for 3 times a week. We struggle with getting reviews. How can we better encourage people to leave positive reviews? I would say there's a few ways of doing this. One way is just asking them as people are checking out, if they're checking out through you, or if you're talking to them when they're checking in, or even if you see them on the property, you can be honest. You can say, hey, if you enjoyed your time with us, it would go a very long way if you left us a review, because we're kind of short on reviews. And if you enjoyed your time with us, we would love it if you share a review with us. Another way of doing it is just an example here, but kind of either make a game out of it, or a little event or whatever, right? So when people are coming into your property, you can have at the check-in or wherever, you can post on your amenities in your washrooms. You could say, hey, leave us a review on Facebook or Google, and screenshot it and email it to us, or call us and let us know that you did it. And we'll give you, I don't know, we'll give you a free night or something. I mean, you can get creative with what you want the reward to be, but that is a really good way of doing it. Besides just being honest and asking, you could say, hey, if you leave us a review, you'll get a free night, or you'll get a t-shirt, or whatever, right? That is probably one of the best ways of kind of encouraging people, making a little game out of it, offering rewards, stuff like that. And Veronica mentioned there's also a request review from campers button on Overpass itself. So feel free to utilize that whenever you can. It'll go a long way. There's one from the Dream Chaser family. You want to pull that one up, Gabriel, please? Is there any way to prevent your IG Facebook from being hacked? Our IG was hacked, and IG and Facebook were shut down over the holidays. So there are a few ways, and this is kind of getting into not cybersecurity, but we kind of call it like cyber hygiene. Best thing to do is have a strong password and make sure that password isn't used for multiple things. So if your password for your Instagram and your Facebook is password 1, chances are pretty good you're gonna get hacked, or someone else is gonna access it, right? So something I always recommend is in terms of cyber hygiene, never use the same password for any 2 things. Make sure the password has at least 1 capital, 1 number, 1 symbol. Write the passwords down. Try not to save them on your computer anywhere. And another thing that kind of delves into this is don't share it with too many people. If too many people have access to your social media, like your admin, then there's the more people that have access to it. And again, like if you're a bigger property and you have to share it with a lot of people, the password, the login, so be it. But again, try to kind of extend these cyber hygiene tips to whoever's using it, right? Never share the password, of course. Be wary of emails. In your emails, we call it phishing emails, kind of like reeling in a fish. So someone will send you an email, I don't know, with a link, right? A link saying, oh, like, I don't know, $100 Amazon gift card or something, right? And you click on the link and they gain access to everything that's on your computer. So hopefully that was a good start to kind of answering your question of preventing being hacked. But if you kind of are looking into more, then I would say just Google the topic: cyber hygiene, cyber security for social media, stuff like that. But I kind of outlined, I mean, what I use myself and what I tell my parents to do, because my parents are terrible with stuff like this. I will give it a few more minutes. If you have any kind of question, feel free. I'd love to answer it and help out in any way I can. Are reels better than posts? Facebook is always pushing you to post reels rather than just post a video. So this kind of delves into the algorithm conversation. So the reason Facebook is pushing you to post reels is because that is the most effective method of getting engagement, getting people to watch your videos. Facebook, at the end of the day, they have your best interests in heart in regard to stuff like this, because the more engagement you get, the better Facebook does. That improves their bottom line. So are reels better than posts at the moment? Yes, in terms of the algorithm, in terms of engagement, but I would say do both, right? If you post a reel, and like we were saying earlier, absolutely repurpose, reutilize content. If you post a reel this week, post it as a video a month from now, right? Stuff like that. But in terms of, is it better? In terms of the algorithm, it is. But again, if you already have your own way of doing things, your brand is known for posting videos, people know you for that, feel free to stick to your own thing. But a good rule of thumb is you always want to be where the attention is and where the volume is. So if the volume and the attention is on reels, go to reels for the time being. You always kind of need to be on your toes when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to social media. If you fall behind on the trends, it really will hurt you at the end of the day. So you kind of, I mean, you don't have to be crazy on it, but if the social media platform itself is telling you that, oh, maybe like reels are better, stick with it for the time being, right? Always try to keep up with trends. More often than not, it'll serve you. Oh. Are there apps to format pictures quickly? When I try to take a picture from my cell phone to social media, much of the picture is cut off, or the size of the photo is too large or too low a pixel. Absolutely, there is. It depends on your phone. I'm not sure if you have an iPhone or a Android, but in terms of pictures and videos, there is a ton of apps out there. CapCut, for example, is one for videos. I'm not sure if Canva has a app, both. So yeah, there are tons of apps out there. I could not tell you off the top of my head because I don't really use them myself, but CapCut I know is one for videos. If you go either on Google or the App Store, there is definitely apps you could find and apps that will work best for you. So I would suggest kind of going maybe going on the App Store, typing in photo editing, and download a few of the top ones, especially if they're unpaid, and kind of play around with them. See which one you like best, see which one works the best for you, which one you're most comfortable using, etc. But there absolutely are apps to format pictures quickly, for sure. All right, we got time for one more. If anyone wants to throw out one final question, feel free. All right, I think we're good. So if you want to learn more about RoverPass, info.roverpass.com. If you have any further questions, something that you forgot to ask. Oh, we got one more question. We can get to this one. Camila, I think this one's for you.
Sure. So, can you explain more about listing on HipCamp and etc.? So that's what we call channel management. Um, what we do is that we list you across other platforms like HipCamp and Spot Tonight. We use the sites that you have on RoverPass. Those same sites are gonna be on HipCamp, and they are gonna be linked together through a platform that is called Chanex. What we do here is to keep an inventory. So every time a booking is done on HipCamp or Spot Tonight or Airbnb, um, that same site and dates will be blocked on RoverPass, and the same thing the other way. So if something is booked on RoverPass, that same thing is gonna be blocked on HipCamp and Spot Tonight. Um, the reservations are made on each platform. So whenever anyone modifies a reservation, everything needs to be done on the other platform. So if someone books off HipCamp and they need to modify the reservation, it will be done on HipCamp. And if they book on RoverPass, the reservation needs to be modified on RoverPass, but anything that gets modified will be reflected on the other platform as well. Is there any other specific thing that you would like to know about HipCam or Spot tonight? Um, or it's just a general question. Mm, that's a great question. That's something that I'm not completely sure about. I believe if you block something uh, on RoverPass, uh, you're not gonna have availability on the other platform as well. I believe it does block as well, but for good measure, I don't know if yeah, Kelsey's there, so I was right. It does block on the other platform as well. So anything that gets blocked on RoverPass will be translated to the other platforms as well. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelsey. And thank you, everyone, for your time, for joining us. Hopefully, we were able to kind of shed some light on social media and why it's so important, especially in this day and age. We appreciate your time. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing these webinars once a month for the foreseeable future. So if you like this one, and if you were with us for the last one, the one coming up will be just as good, we hope. So thank you again. I'm going to send you all an email right away here with this presentation, so you can refer to it at any time if you'd like. I'm going to send a link to our Facebook group, which I highly recommend you join. I'm going to send you a link to a campground marketing ebook that we have as Rover Pass, and a few other links here and there that I can't think of right now. But again, thank you for your time. Camila, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And have a good night, everyone. And we'll hopefully see you around next month.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.